down to Pooley Bridge, down to Parkfoot campsite or holiday park for the weekend, for the Easter weekend. Actually going Wednesday till Monday, and then on Tuesday I'm going down to the dealership to have some more work done on the van. Right, we're joining the M6, we'll see where we get to, see how busy it is, or how quiet it is, or whether it's open or closed, or any of the above. So the purpose of all this driving is to show you the access to the campsite, how easy it is to get to the campsite from the M6. So just on the right hand side there you can see Ullswater, one side of it anyway, and this is the road into Pooley Bridge. So we're just going to pull up into one of the lanes just in front of reception, and round the back of the reception is a bar and restaurant called TJ's, which apparently is very good, but we didn't try it whilst we were there. Now we're staying in a section of the campsite which is on the other side of the B road that we came in on, so we have to go back out of this part of the campsite, down the B road and into the relatively new part. So that's something to bear in mind when you're booking. We chose this part of the site which is immediately adjacent to Ullswater, so it's pretty much on the lakeside, literally 2 or 3 minutes walk down to the water's edge. So here's our pitch just on the right hand side. The pitches are not particularly level, they're not that far out, but you might need to use levelers. But the pitch is very big. It's probably one of the biggest pitches that we've ever been on any campsite that we've stayed on in the past. It's absolutely huge, so you can put up a big awning if you wanted to, if you were staying in a caravan, and you can possibly park 2 additional cars next to an awning as well. So there's a multitude of large bins up and down the site, and the showers and toilets are very good. These are a little bit dated, but they are building some new ones on this part of the campsite. There's the obligatory LSAM point, but there's no motorhome service point on this part of the campsite. The only motorhome service point is on the other part of the campsite across the road. So here you can see the actual size of the pitch. It's pretty huge, and most of the pitches come with a picnic bench as well, which is quite useful. You're allowed to have an open fire or barbecue on the pitch, provided it's raised up above the ground. We decided to have a meal at the Pooley Bridge Inn on this particular night. It was average, really. There wasn't a massive amount of food. It was presented reasonably well. It was nothing exceptional, and we probably wouldn't have gone back another night. So I checked out of the campsite on Easter Monday lunchtime to drive down to Preston to the dealership, and my intention was to stay at a pre-booked campsite called Brylea Caravan Park just off the M55, so literally a couple of minutes off the M6, and then the following morning when I set off to the dealership I could be there within 10 or 15 minutes.
After 300 yards at the roundabout, take the first exit.
Looks like there's a feeder lane here, which is good. Doesn't mean that you have to stop, of course. This looks like it's relatively new roundabout.
After 500 yards at the roundabout, take the second exit.
We're doing the reverse of this in the morning, on the way down to the dealership.
Now at the roundabout, take the second exit.
Commonly known as straight ahead.
After 700 yards at the roundabout, take the third exit. Now at the roundabout, take the third exit.
Sign posted for Lee Bridge. Thanks for coming through on red. It's no problem. Lee Town. Making names up as I go along. Right, it's only 3/4 of a mile away from here on the left, I think. So apparently the road that we've just come off is a relatively new bypass, which I guess goes round part of Preston, but it made it quite easy getting off the M55.
After 200 yards, turn left, then turn right.
So apparently the owners of this campsite are sheep farmers, I guess a lot of farmers have diversified into caravan sites over the last few years. So after checking in, reception was unmanned. I just phoned a number that was on the door. There's basically two parts to the caravan site. I was asked which area I wanted to park in, and I could just choose a pitch. So I thought, well, given I'm setting off relatively early the following morning, I'll park near the exit. And it was very quiet. There's a mixture of what appeared to be seasonal caravans and also people that were touring, so it was quite nice to be able to just choose a pitch that suited my requirements. So there's the reception area just ahead with the ladies and gents toilets and showers. There's the obligatory Elsan point. So within probably 10 or 15 metres of my pitch there were 3 freshwater filling taps, which was quite useful, and I decided to wander off down to that filling station that I showed you earlier on the junction, probably about half a mile away. The intention was to try and get a bottle of beer and a few snacks for the evening, because there was quite a long evening loomed ahead, but it turned out this Eurogarages site did not sell alcohol due to religious reasons, so I ended up walking back to the site, which was nice to have a bit of a leg stretch, with a packet of crisps and a soft drink, which was no big problem. It probably was better that way. So the following morning, the Tuesday, I headed off out of the campsite round about 8 o'clock to try and get down to the dealership for 8:30 when they opened. So I arrived at Signature Motorhomes and Leisure just before they opened at 8:30. So I parked myself up and had the opportunity to have a look around their showroom. And also at most of the motorhomes that they had available. This is the Pilote P626, which is 6.26 metres long, has got a drop down bed, quite a large living area, which is able to probably seat 5 or 6 people easily, with a fold out table, a separate shower and toilet area, which is a separate shower and washroom, which is divided by a panel. That's the wardrobe, which was considerably large, a very large fridge, freezer, and also plenty of cupboards in the kitchen, work surface as well, a duplex oven, plenty of storage space underneath. This one I couldn't get into for some reason, it seemed to be rather stiff.
There's the oven, and cupboards above the kitchen area as well. So yeah, quite a nice little motorhome as well. This is perhaps one that we would have gone for instead of the P650 at the time, but we were just a bit unsure about the drop down bed, because there was a lot of talk at the time about there being problems with the lift system on some models. So this was one of many motorhomes that I was able to have a look around whilst I was there. All are open to view, which is good. You don't have to ask for the keys on them. But whilst I was there, I noticed that there was another YouTuber in having some work done. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to meet the MOTORHOMers, but their vehicle was in next to ours, having some work done at the time. So I hope you found this video interesting and the drive-ins to the campsites have been useful. Thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe and comment, because every comment will receive a reply from myself. So thank you. Until next time, goodbye.